Welcome to Top 10 Archive. Earth's abundance of flora and fauna often seems perfectly suited for people with its multitude of fruits, vegetables, and other edible vegetation. But Mother Nature isn't always so kind. Throughout Earth's history, its vegetation has created defensive mechanisms to ward off potentially harmful insects or predators, including the human race. From a beautiful ornamental plant to a group of deadly perennials, these are our top picks of deadly plants. Number 10. Angel's Trumpet. Brugmansia suaveolens, formerly called Datura suaveolens, goes by several nicknames, included Sacred Datura, Hindu Datura, Indian Apple, and Thorn Apple. Angel's Trumpet occurs naturally in southeast Brazil, but it is widely grown as an ornamental plant that has been established throughout much of South and Central America, Mexico, and parts of south-central Florida. The plant is noted as having a sweet fragrance, but having an unpleasant taste, and is usually consumed in tea for its alleged medicinal benefits or hallucinogenic effects. Symptoms include hallucinations, dry mouth, muscle weakness, increased blood pressure and pulse, fever, dilated pupils, and paralysis. The only saving grace from this plant is that one must consume massive quantities to cause death. Number 9. Doll's Eye. Actea pachypoda resides in the eastern United States and parts of Canada within deciduous woods and thickets. This medium-sized perennial herb reaches around 20 inches or 51 centimeters high, with thick roots, large leaves, and white flowers that produce red or white berries. This plant has also been called red baneberry, snakeberry, white cohosh, or coralberry. All parts of this plant, but mainly the roots and berries, are toxic, causing severe pain in the mouth when ingested. Doll's Eye contains glycosides or essential oils that produce severe gastroenteritis, but also has not sufficiently been researched to determine all of its toxic qualities. Symptoms include the burning of the mouth and throat, salivation, severe stomach cramps, headache, diarrhea, dizziness, and hallucinations. Fortunately, like the angel's trumpet, large quantities must be eaten before death occurs. Number 8. English Yew. Taxus baccata is native to Britain and can also be found across much of Europe, Western Asia, and Northern Africa. The English yew is a densely branching evergreen tree with a massive trunk, reaching heights of approximately 66 feet or 20 meters. Unlike most conifers, the Taxus baccata doesn't bear its seeds in cones, but instead grow alone at the tip of its dwarf shoots encased in a fleshly red aril. All parts, except for the fleshly aril, contain taxin, a poison that has a complex of alkaloids that can be rapidly absorbed. The scary aspect of this poisoning is that it may show no symptoms, with death following within a few hours. Yew is one of the few plants where its poison is not destroyed when detached from its parent plant. Its seeds are highly toxic and, if unbroken, will pass through the body with relatively no harm. But if its shell is breached, could kill with as little as 3 seeds if digested. Number 7. Bushman's Poison. Acocanthera oppositifolia, also commonly referred to as winter sweet, is widespread in southern and central Africa from Cape Province onward north to Zaire and Tanzania. It's a medium to large woody shrub with hard, dark green leaves, clusters of pinkish-white, sweetly scented flowers, and large plum-colored berry-like fruits. Bushman's poison is usually found growing in the shade of other flora and typically avoids drier regions. The milky sap from the plant was widely used by the traditional Bushmen, combined with other poisons to coat their arrows. All parts of this plant are highly poisonous, containing cardiac glycoside, except the fruit, which still should not be consumed. Symptoms can include gastrointestinal irritation, abdominal pain, excessive salivation, vomiting, cramping, and diarrhea. Number 6. Strychnine tree. Strychnos nux vomica is also known as poison nut, snakewood, or Quaker buttons. It's indigenous to Australia and South Asia, including India, Sri Lanka, and the East Indies. The tree has small flowers and orange-colored fruits the size of an apple or orange, with 5 seeds surrounded by a jelly-like pulp contained within. The seeds contain the alkaloids strychnine and brucine, with strychnine being extremely poisonous. Strychnine is a powerful central nervous system stimulant that leads to an excitable state, severe muscle spasms, and convulsions. Muscle contractions caused by strychnine can result in muscle tearing from the bone, causing the body to be twisted into abnormal positions. An overdose will lead to death from exhaustion or cardiac arrest. Number 5. Crab's eye. Aberus precatorius, also commonly known as rosary pea, is a vine native to India, but can be found in other tropical and subtropical areas in the world. The vine has pods with oval seeds and a hard, glossy shell, while the seeds range in a variety of colors, including red, black, orange, or white, with black and white centers. All parts of this plant are toxic, with the highest concentrations of aberin found in the seed. Aberin is one of the more potent toxins known to man, as studies have shown that a single seed could cause death. Oral ingestion of whole seeds typically don't produce serious illness unless the protective outer shell is breached. There is no specific antidote for aberin poisoning, and most symptoms include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, followed in more serious cases with dehydration or death. Number 4. Spotted water hemlock. Cicuta maculata is endemic to nearly all of North America, from northern Canada to southern Mexico, and primarily are found in wet meadows, thickets, or freshwater swamps. It's also known as spotted cowbane, spotted parsley, and suicide root. It's described as umbrels of small white flowers topping 6 feet or 1.6 meter tall stems, with fern-like leaves towards the bottom. All parts of the water hemlock are toxic, but its roots, described as distasteful, have higher concentrations of cicutoxin and only takes one bite to cause deadly symptoms in humans. This plant is considered highly toxic, can be fatal if eaten, and has a slew of symptoms including muscle spasms, dilated pupils, dizziness, diarrhea, stomach pain, convulsions, cyanosis, coma, and death by asphyxiation. Number 3. The suicide tree. Cerbera odalum grows in swamps and marshy areas across India and Southeast Asia, and is stated by toxicologists to be used by people to commit suicide more than any other plant. This large shrub or small tree reaches approximately 33 feet or 10 meters in height, has glossy green leaves and white flowers with a yellow throat. It has a fruit that looks like a small green mango that covers an oval-shaped seed that contains the toxin cerberin. Cerberin binds to and inhibits the sodium-potassium pump in the body, causing the heart to contract much harder than it needs to, leading to arrhythmia. The increase in potassium could lead to hyperkalemia, which is similar to the injection of potassium chloride used in lethal injections in the United States. In addition to the cardiac effects, cerberin also causes nausea and vomiting. Number 2. Little apple of death. The manchineel tree, commonly known as poison guava, is native to Florida, the Caribbean, the Bahamas, and parts of Central and South America. It predominantly grows along the coastal beaches, reaching 50 feet or 15 meters in height, has bright green leaves, and a single or paired yellow-red, sweet-scented, apple-like fruit. The fruit from this tree has become known as the manzanilla de la muerte, or little apple of death, but isn't the only aspect of the tree that is harmful to humans. The manchineel is so poisonous that smoke from burning its wood irritates the eyes, and latex from its leaves and bark cause skin inflammation. One incident with 4 tourists seeking shelter from the rain hide underneath a manchineel, resulting in dermatitis and painful blistering. The toxicity of these trees is a concoction of several chemical compounds hard to isolate, but has been used by the Carib Indians to poison their arrows for decades. Number 1. Wolfsbane. Aconitum napellus is more commonly referred to as monkshood, wolfsbane, and aconite, but has several other names associated with it. Indigenous to Western and Central Europe, it has relatives in Asia and North America that are fairly similar, but is now considered a separate species. Regarded as a group of perennials with a thick black rootstock, stems that traverse 3 feet or 1 meter high, leaves are glossy dark green and spikes of hooded flowers. All parts of this plant are poisonous, containing aconite and aconitine, of which aconitine is thought to be the predominant toxin. Symptoms include restlessness, profound weakness followed by collapse, distorted heartbeats and weak pulses, and shallow respiration. Substantial doses can cause instant death, including ingestion and absorption through broken skin or open wounds. Do you have an idea for a future Top 10 video? Let us know in the comments section below. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and our website, top10archive.net. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with all of your family and friends.